All right. Miss Wolf, correct?
Correct.
Excellent. I'm just gonna dive right in. I don't see the point in small talk.
Okay.
Um, Tell me about your experience in PD.
So as you know, I had a juvenile record before this. Just to clarify the charges a little better, they were mostly misdemeanors: vandalism, shoplifting, destruction of property, and disorderly conduct. Those were the four charges that I believe I was hit with.
Sure, teenager shit.
So, yeah, teenager shit. But I did get hired on at PD in another city. I went through the full cadet phase, start to finish, including taking my final evaluation. I was a full fledged officer at the time that I left. Can't honestly tell you how many arrests I did, but I did everything from, you know, felony stops to just questioning, investigations, stuff like that.
All right. Can you tell me the definitions of reasonable suspicion and probable cause?
Yeah, I'm usually better at giving examples. Reasonable suspicion is like if you are called to an area because of gunshots and you see a masked man walking around, you have reasonable suspicion to believe he might have been involved, but you don't exactly have probable cause unless you go there and you can clearly see that like he's got a gun on his person somewhere.
Okay, yeah, I will work with that. That is a perfect example. It's in fact the same one I usually use to explain it. So, all right. Tell me why you think that you would be a benefit to this PD in particular.
I mean, I'm hoping not only because of my prior experience, but because of my unique insight. A lot of cops don't come with the background I do, where I can actually understand some of the psychology of these people that we're, trying to apprehend and, maybe in some ways even help. Like a lot of cops think all criminals are just like bad people, but I understand that some of them are just people making the wrong choices.
Okay. Um, to I guess to follow up on that a little bit, what, by your words, is the purpose of PD?
I mean, I always followed the two things that the kind of like the motto, I guess, of cops: you protect and you serve. Those two things I believe are supposed to come first.
Okay. Um, let's see here. I'm just gonna present you with a couple of scenario questions. Normally, I don't expect people to like get these right. I'm not looking for right answers. I'm just looking to see how you think about situations, if that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. So don't stress yourself out over them too much and just answer honestly but thoughtfully, all right?
Okay.
So you let's do something similar to the scenario you presented earlier. You receive a shots fired call, you arrive on scene. There's nobody in masks, but there are three people present. None of them claim to have seen anything happen. There's no blood. You don't see anything necessarily going on, but this is the place that you got the shots fired call from. What are you going to do on that scene? Assuming you have backup.
I mean, one of the first things I'll always do is check for casings. It's possible that you may have a registered gun that matches the casings, and that can help you identify who might have fired the shots. And, it may not have been any of those three people. And questioning them can help, but if they are either unwilling or unable to give information, pressing isn't really going to get you anywhere, in my experience. So if you can find physical evidence, that's more ideal than trying to get answers that they're not going to give. So yeah, I always check
Okay.
for casings. I mean, I will detain people if I have reason to believe they might know something, especially if there is also physical evidence present. But if you don't really have probable cause to search them, then it's not going to get you much.
All right. Um, let's say you are on scene of a robbery. You have four suspects and they have one hostage. You are sort of low staffed at the moment. You have yourself and one other unit. What is your top priority in this situation?
While getting the hostage out safely. You want to preserve that life, so you want to make sure you negotiate with the suspects to preserve that hostage's life and health. I mean, if it comes down to it and you aren't able to pursue the suspects, just get as much evidence as you can from the scene, see if there's fingerprints or DNA left behind, get pictures if you can. But yeah, the most important thing is making sure that the hostage is safe.
All right, and Miss Wolf, how comfortable do you feel with the command structure and the idea of taking commands from those above you?
I mean, I've been fairly comfortable with it in the past. I almost always defer to someone with greater experience unless they say it is up to my judgment.
All right. And I don't want to fucking ask this question. If you had an elephant and you couldn't sell it or kill it, what would you do with it?
So that is pretty ridiculous. I don't even know that I would want a pet elephant. They're wild animals and they belong in nature, so I would probably try to find like a sanctuary to send it to.
It's a personality question.
It's weird.
It is. I
Well,
agree.
I don't write the
And
I
you know
don't like
what?
the
I think that
interview
was a great
questions.
answer. Because why the fuck would you have an elephant?
They need a lot of space and they need other elephants to be happy.
Barry, do you have anything you would like to ask Miss Wolf?
No. It seems I like her answers, and I think she'll be a great part of the PD.
Thank you for
Oh,
your
do you have
input.
any goals for the future for the PD?
There you go. Now you're getting it.
I mean, I'm kind of an unusual cop in that, not only my prior experience, but my belief that some of these people could be helped and turned around. So it is my goal not only to, obviously stop crimes and, arrest people, but also to try and prevent the crimes by getting to know these people and seeing what can be done to make them change their choices.
Wow. Yeah, you give me CID vibes.
What does that mean?
Uh,
CID is the Criminal Investigative Division, so it is our detectives.
See, they didn't really have a specific unit for detective work or anything like that in my last PD. They were discussing having like a unit for, I guess, kind of community outreach. And that was where I was
Mm-hmm.
interested in going, but they didn't really enact that.
Yeah, CID is sort of like major crimes would be the best way to put it. Their primary focus is uh, murder, kidnappings,
Yeah.
gang violence, and tracking the sale of drugs throughout the city.
yep.
But that's neither here nor there. That's not really important right this second.
No.
Um, okay. I mean, I really have all that I need to know. Do you have any questions that you would like to ask us?
No, I'm sure along the way I'll learn a lot. Like obviously you guys had different units than the other PD that I've served, but that's usually something that's gone over, I know, in the acclimation phase.
Yeah, absolutely. Um,
And I also can, I don't know if that's technically allowed per your guys' policies, but I can answer questions about Blair since we served together. And I think we actually trained pretty much. We had the same starting day and we passed our final evaluations the same day. So we trained pretty closely together.
okay. And I'm sorry if you told me this already and I've forgotten. How long were you in PD in this other city?
At least a month. My cadet phase was pretty
Okay.
short as far as their standards went. I took like maybe 2 weeks altogether from start to finish. They said I caught on pretty quick. My reports were good. I didn't really have much to work on except, driving,
Good.
which just takes a lot of experience.
A lot of PD just takes practice.
It's not that I was a
No.
bad driver. It's
Yeah.
just they said, I definitely wasn't ready for heat certification, which, yeah, I get that.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. I mean, it took me a while to become the greatest driver in the PD.
Oh, really?
You know,
When did that happen?
yesterday.
Oh, yesterday?
Right.
You know,
I'll ask Anderson about it.
okay. So we done here,
All right.
ma'am?
Yes, Miss Wolf, that is all I need from you. I need to get a confirmation from the rest of High Command based on the notes that I've taken and such. But I'll be honest, this was a great interview. You clearly know what you're talking about, and we should be reaching out to you very shortly.
Okay, I appreciate your time.
Absolutely, right this way.
Ow.
Barry,
He's a great driver, but he can't even walk, huh?
I tripped, ma'am. Sorry.
he's not a great driver either.
I tripped. Huh?
Ouch.
Huh?
Hey, Blair.
What's up?
All right, Mr.
I think it's your
Blair,
turn to go get
here's your-
grilled.
Okay. You say that.